Good afternoon for another Fast Facts and Features with me, the brand ambassador, Jeanette. Hey, on the soggy, wet coast of Canada, but there's always something fascinating to talk about, correct, Kevin?
I'd like to talk about the sun, but we don't have any. So let's talk about floors instead. How about that?
Well, it's liquid sunshine is what we call it here on the wet coast of Canada, right?
Indeed, we get more than enough.
Well, we need it for our trees. So, Kevin, we've had 2 weeks of Yan with your store manager updating, and it looks like you're in his little spaceship pod, as I called it a couple of weeks ago. So what's Kevin been up to these last 2 weeks now in his new elevated role?
I've been golfing, and no, I'm joking. I don't actually golf. I probably should, but yeah, no, it's been an interesting transition. Just to be candid, it's the first time that in my 20 plus years in retail flooring sales that I've been in a different role where I'm not directly the face of the company anymore. And Yan, as you've talked to the last couple of weeks, I couldn't think of a finer gentleman to take that place for me. He's an extremely intelligent, competent man. We just love him so much, and we're so thankful that he came back and took on the new role with us. But so for me, I'm transitioning into a role that I've never had before, which is business development and actually planning and strategizing for the next few years of the business, going out to even the medium term. Since we started Ethical almost 10 years ago now, I haven't just had the space to do that, to be honest. It's been you're in the day to day, and whatever is right in front of you, that needs to be resolved now. So, we've got to this point without a whole lot of long-term strategic planning, which is quite something actually. But so now I'm regrouping and looking at what that role looks like, and we're going to see changes coming over the coming months and even years. But these are longer term projects that are not going to be immediately apparent, but just in terms of making the business better, work better, better than it is now. I'm just a perfectionist, right? So I want to make sure that as much as possible, everything is going smoothly.
I often like to say we can be imperfectly perfect human beings, but our businesses have got to run perfectly for our clients.
They do, absolutely. It's even in my own life, I accept imperfections. I accept that I don't have any hair for a long time now. But for my clients, they are our lifeblood, and they are the reason my family eats, and every morning, every evening we eat around the dinner table, and, we're thankful for the clients that we have, we share it with our children, and, we're thankful for Ethical Flooring.
So I've been noticing a little bit, because I, come in once a week and go live and share this video onto your Instagram and your LinkedIn, and you put it up on the YouTube channel. But I've been noticing some new posts on the Facebook and Instagram. What's that all about?
Yeah, so I previously I had more time to work on that. I guess early COVID, kind of spring and summer 2020. I was at home a lot. We were really diminishing the showroom coverage and, just the number of bodies in the showroom. And so I took it up as a bit of a work at home hobby and playing around with it. I'm not artistic by nature by any means. So this was a whole new, scope of work for me. But I liked it, but then COVID came back, not COVID itself, but the COVID business,
right?
After that couple of month lull, it just came like gangbusters, and it, I basically had zero time to work on that anymore, which is the bane of every business owner's existence, which is why we've hired Yan. So yeah, I'm going to be hopefully playing around with that a bit more, because I think it's fun, and I think it's we have a great set of suppliers that we work with, and I'm super happy to showcase them and their products, and to get that out to the world. So yeah, obviously we have a reasonable number of followers, especially on Instagram, and hopefully we'll see some uptick in activity going forward as I have a little bit more free time.
You posted one of my favorite floors, and I think I commented on the Instagram, the anything by Vintage Hickory, and now they're doing that new texture to it. To me, when I was a project manager, and immediately when I said, how many kids do you have, lifestyle, and I went, we need to get you a hickory floor. So you're gonna not have any surprises. And what they're doing with hickory floors right now is just like, oh,
I,
magic.
I, I absolutely love hickory, and it's probably one of the most underappreciated woods, right? And it's not for everybody because of the grain pattern,
Yeah.
obviously, but for, like you said, active families, I've put in a hickory floor I'll never forget. I installed it for the client, and then I came back 2 years later because they wanted to extend it and get more of it. And they had 4 kids and something and a dog, and didn't know what I was going to walk into in terms
Right.
of what the floor would look like, but it looked like almost like the day we put it in. And
Wow.
I was super impressed. And ever since that point, I've really been a fan of hickory. And yeah, and especially with any sort of texturizing to it,
Mm.
like Vintage is doing. Yeah, this is just looking at a really practical, life-friendly floor.
And when it's being cut, and when they have to cut it, it smells delicious when it's
It
being cut.
does.
Well, that's a byproduct. It comes with its own little aromaticness to your home because it just smells so good when it's being cut. So,
Yeah.
so Kevin, what else have you been up to? I kind of know one thing that you showed up last week. Normally you send your beautiful wife and sometimes your oldest daughter and your youngest daughter to Night Shift Ministries last week to help us feed our street friends. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah. So typically I'm watching the young one or taking her to basketball. And so Tanya and I have to split up, but it worked out on Wednesday that we could all come as a family to go to night shift out in Wally. And yeah, I got to meet wonderful Candace and yourself. You were gracious hosts to me as somebody who didn't know what was going on or what to expect. Yeah, it was wonderful. And it actually brought back memories because Tanya and I's first place we lived in was about 2 blocks from the ministry location there. It was an interesting place to live, we'll say the least. We have our memories of Wally when we were quite young. So yeah, it was neat to go back there to the neighborhood and to obviously work with and help people that are obviously disadvantaged and suffering from afflictions, whether it be mental health, drug addiction. Obviously we saw a lot of that. And obviously, and just straight poverty. It's an exceptionally expensive city to live in, as everybody knows. And I think working poor is a reality now. So to be able to provide a meal to them, it was a really, really cool experience. So yeah, thank you for having me.
You handle a soup ladle really well, my friend.
I only burned myself 3 times. So other than that, it was
baptismal
okay.
by fire. Baptismal by fire. You're going to be fine going forward. So thank you so much for coming out, Kevin. It was lovely to see your whole family in action, and your daughters just have got such a beautiful servant attitude, and how they have little cheeky conversations with our street friends and make sure that they are just giving a beautiful meal. Just blessed to know you and blessed to have you as part of our team, the ethical team.
Yeah, it's what a great ministry. And it's for my children especially to be able to, we've talked about paths that you can take in life, and sometimes they don't end up where you want them to be. And there's their parents telling them that, where they go, yeah, but to actually see it's twofold. One is to see sometimes bad decisions and bad choices, what the end result can be, but also to have compassion on those who have ended up in places that they never expected to be and they never wanted to be, and to do what we've been blessed with, which is health and work and finances. Of course, to give back, that is our duty and calling. And it was a great desire and a great fun family event. Not something you'd normally consider as a family event, but I think it was unbelievably rewarding, and I'd love to be back.
And when you came in and saw how your daughters had made 120 sandwiches in about 20 minutes, it was pretty magical.
It's just funny because they won't even make their own sandwiches for lunch, right?
That's out there now, girls. If you're watching this on Instagram,
but they'll make 120 for someone else. But when it comes time for their own, it's like, I don't know how. Right?
Sending out the love to them. So Kevin, thank you for catching up. We're not going to be on next Wednesday. We have 5 Wednesdays in the month of March. We got a little break next week. And I know the kids go back to school next week as well. So you've got new routines to get back into place for kids going back to school. And we'll see you the first Wednesday. I think we're going to kind of first Wednesday, you, in between Yan and maybe a supplier, one of the project managers, and then wrapping up the month with you at the end. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah. And everybody keep an eye out on Instagram. Hopefully you like what I'm putting out there. And, you know, if not, then I don't know. Don't tell me because you'll hurt my feelings.
Awesome. Have a great Wednesday,
Take
Kevin.
care. Okay.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.